In a move that has sent ripples across the globe, Saudi Arabia-Pakistan have formalized a relationship that was long an open secret. The Mutual Defense Pact signed on September 17, 2025 in Riyadh is more than just another diplomatic agreement. It is a seismic event, a fundamental reordering of power dynamics in one of the world's most volatile regions. The treaty declares that an act of aggression against one nation will be considered an attack on both. This simple clause transforms decades of quiet cooperation into an ironclad public commitment, creating a new security axis that has left traditional powers scrambling to understand its full implications. It is, by any measure, a historic moment. This agreement marks a watershed for both nations. For Pakistan, it represents its most significant formal defense treaty in over half a century, surpassing even its deep yet informal security ties with China. The country once had mutual defense agreements with the United States during the Cold War, but those alliances frayed and ultimately crumbled by the 1970s. Now, Islamabad has anchored its strategic future to the heart of the Arab world. For Saudi Arabia, this is an unprecedented step. It is the first time a Gulf Arab state has signed such a comprehensive defense pact with a nuclear-armed power, signaling a bold and decisive pivot in its foreign policy and national security strategy. The timing of this pact is no coincidence. It arrives at a moment of profound uncertainty and heightened tension. Ultimately, this treaty is about creating a new strategic reality. It is a declaration of intent from two major Muslim-majority nations to forge their own path, grounded in shared interests and mutual trust. For generations, the bedrock of Gulf security was a simple formula: Arab oil in exchange for American military protection. That era is now visibly crumbling. The decision by Saudi Arabia to seek a formal defense treaty with Pakistan, rather than doubling down on its ties with Washington, is the starkest evidence yet of this strategic drift. Gulf leaders have grown increasingly wary of America's reliability as a partner. They watched the chaotic withdrawal from Afghanistan, perceived a hesitant response to attacks on their oil infrastructure, and noted a broader American pivot away from the Middle East. The sense in Riyadh and other Gulf capitals is that Washington's priorities have shifted, leaving them exposed in an ever more dangerous neighborhood. The final straw appears to have been Israel's shocking airstrike on a residential complex in Doha on September 9, 2025. The attack, aimed at Hamas leaders, was a direct strike on the soil of a GCC member state. For Gulf leaders, the message was terrifyingly clear. Not even their immense wealth and diplomatic ties could guarantee their sovereignty. The American response, or lack thereof, was seen as a confirmation of their worst fears. The attack eliminated the long-held notion that the United States would act as a reliable protector of their lands against any and all threats. This single event catalyzed a profound loss of faith, accelerating the Gulf's search for alternative security arrangements that were not subject to the shifting political winds in Washington. Pakistan emerged as the natural alternative. Unlike the United States, Pakistan is a neighbor with deep cultural, religious, and military ties to the kingdom. In choosing Islamabad, Riyadh is not just replacing one guarantor with another, it is fundamentally redesigning its security posture for a multipolar world where self-reliance and diversified alliances are paramount for survival. The roots of the Saudi-Pakistani alliance run deep, nurtured by decades of financial, political, military cooperation. This is not a relationship born of sudden crisis, but one forged over time. Saudi Arabia has long been a vital source of economic support for Pakistan, providing oil on deferred payments, financial aid packages, direct investments to help stabilize Pakistan's fragile economy. In return, Pakistan has offered its military expertise and manpower, serving as a silent but essential pillar of the kingdom's defense. This symbiotic relationship created a powerful bond, making the Defense Pact feel like a public affirmation of a long-standing understanding. A cornerstone was Saudi Arabia's strategic $15 billion investment in Pakistan. It was a calculated geopolitical move to shore up a critical ally and secure future returns. The funds went to key sectors: energy, infrastructure, mining. A significant portion went to the Reko mine, one of the world's largest undeveloped copper and gold deposits. The investment gave Pakistan an economic lifeline and deeply intertwined both countries' futures. For Riyadh, it was a long-term bet now paying strategic dividends. That bet is being cashed in. By stabilizing Pakistan's economy, Saudi Arabia ensured the stability of a partner it would rely on. The investment strengthened Pakistan, empowering it as a more robust security partner. As Riyadh builds a new regional security order, the move looks prescient. The Defense Pact is the ultimate return, bought with money, decades of mutual support, and shared vision. The Saudi-Pakistan Defense Pact has been received in Jerusalem with palpable alarm. The emergence of a formal military alliance alarms Israel. It's between a powerful Arab neighbor and a nuclear-armed state. That combination is a strategic nightmare for Jerusalem. The agreement changes the regional balance of power, creating a formidable bloc. That bloc complicates Israel's security calculations. The quiet hope of normalizing with Saudi Arabia as part of an anti-Iran coalition now seems distant. Israel faces a future where the Arab heartland is allied with a military powerhouse, reducing Israel's relative strength and freedom of action in the region. Israel is accelerating a strategic pivot, looking east toward India. The Gulf's security architecture is shifting against Israel's interests. Israel sees India as a crucial counterweight. India is a rising global power. India is a fellow democracy. India shares Israel's concerns about regional Islamist extremism. India is Pakistan's primary geopolitical rival. Israel hopes a closer partnership with New Delhi will balance the Saudi-Pakistan axis. This alignment is moving beyond technology, beyond trade, into defense and into intelligence sharing. The Israeli-Indian relationship rests on shared interests. Both nations have fought multiple wars. Both face complex security threats on their borders. The May 2025 India-Pakistan conflict has heightened New Delhi's worries about the Saudi-Pakistan Pact. India's foreign ministry says it will study the pact's national security impact. The potential result? A new Israeli-Indian corridor in Asia to counter Saudi-Pakistani influence. The new great game now includes the major powers of South Asia. While the United States, Israel and India grapple with the implications of the Saudi-Pakistan Pact, one global power is watching these developments with quiet satisfaction: China. Beijing has masterfully played the long game, and the new alliance is a significant victory for its foreign policy objectives. For years, China has sought to gently displace American influence in the Middle East, not through direct confrontation, but by positioning itself as a reliable economic and diplomatic partner. The Saudi-Pakistan Pact, between two of China's closest strategic partners, serves Beijing's interests without direct involvement. It is a win achieved by proxy. Pakistan hosts the China-Pakistan Economic Corridor, a flagship BRI project giving Beijing access to the Indian Ocean via the port of Gwadar. Saudi Arabia is China's top oil supplier and a key partner in internationalizing the yuan. A defense pact that strengthens both nations protects China's economic and strategic investments. A more secure Pakistan is a more reliable trade corridor. A more self-reliant Saudi is less susceptible to American pressure, ensuring steadier energy flows to China. The pact deepens the wedge between the Gulf states and the United States, a long-term strategic goal for Beijing. Every step Saudi Arabia takes away from Washington's security orbit weakens the US-led global order. It is a masterclass in subtle, patient, and effective diplomacy. The moment the pact was announced, speculation about its nuclear dimension went into overdrive. The image of a nuclear-armed Pakistan extending a nuclear umbrella over Saudi Arabia is a dramatic one, and a statement from Pakistan's defense minister that its capabilities would absolutely be available only fueled these fears. What we have, our capabilities, will absolutely be available under this pact. However, a closer look reveals a more nuanced reality. The text of the agreement makes no explicit mention of nuclear weapons or any specific weapon systems. Experts argue that the idea of a shared nuclear button is a dramatic extrapolation unsupported by the pact's language or Pakistan's carefully guarded nuclear doctrine. Islamabad is not offering Riyadh a covert nuclear button. Islamabad would be extremely reluctant to enter any arrangement that dilutes its sovereign control over its ultimate deterrent. What the pact does offer is a powerful form of strategic ambiguity. It provides Saudi Arabia with the protection of being formally allied with a nuclear state, a status that carries significant deterrent weight on its own. An adversary contemplating an attack on the kingdom must now consider the possibility, however remote, of a Pakistani response. This is not a formal nuclear guarantee but a symbolic shield of brotherhood, as one analyst put it. It signals to rivals like Iran and even Israel that an existential threat to Saudi Arabia could trigger an unpredictable and devastating escalation. The goal is not to prepare for nuclear war, but to make any potential aggressor think twice. This distinction is crucial. The world may worry about nuclear proliferation, but the true innovation here is the creation of deterrence by association. It is a new chapter in the region's long and complex security story. Thanks for watching this video. What do you think Pakistan will be able to ensure Saudi Arabia's security through this agreement? Write in the comment below. Subscribe to the Dhaka Diplomat YouTube channel and press the bell icon.